So instead of asking a question, anyway, it just everything gets sensationalized in ways that. But I'm convinced we can get through this. We have to get through it. And one of the things, look.
I'm going to take a break, and then we'll talk a little bit more.
If you
don't mind.
You.
I'm sorry.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Joe Biden's very first interview within the past 118 days. Now, that's quite a long time. Trump would always be out in front of the cameras. It didn't matter if it was a scheduled interview, a press conference, if he's going to the plane, he will always speak with the media, always. And if not with the media directly, he speak on his own platforms, he put out statements, he put out something. Joe Biden does not really speak much. Why? Because when he does speak, he looks like he is on his last leg. Like he only has 48 hours left, and he's on hour number 47 right when the announcement is made. Okay, so he decided to go on Jimmy Kimmel, and this was, in my humble opinion, nothing short of a dumpster fire. Now, we're going to get through these clips. I'll try to link to these clips in the description, but they're easy to find. They're pretty much everywhere. I think the entire interview was like 28 minutes or so. I'll link to that if you must. But let's go through these clips, and I'm going to just pause it at certain key points to give my commentary.
The 46th president of the United States, Joe Biden.
So let's pause right here. The caption from Clay Travis, who posted this clip, says, "Here's Joe Biden wearing a mask by himself backstage," and then immediately takes it off when he goes shake hands. Anyone still buying this mask charade is either too dumb to realize they've been played or psychologically unstable, probably both. And you see him right here behind the curtain with his mask on. And as soon as the curtain opens, he's taking the mask off. And then he shakes hands and he's getting super close to Jimmy Kimmel. So the question is, what's the purpose of wearing the mask if you're going to do that? It's pretty strange. Now, here is a clip that has been all over the place where Joe Biden is pretty much just fishing, trying to find something to say, trying to find something to bridge one thought with the next, and he's just not able to find it. He's pretty much like a fish out of the water at this particular point in time. And it's kind of sad, but at the same time, hey, man, people that voted for him, this is what you got. 81 million. Hey, I blame you.
No question about it.
So there's a lot of major things we've done. But what we haven't done is we haven't been able to communicate it in a way that is, let me say another way.
Well, see, that's kind of perfect. Yeah,
well,
we haven't been able to communicate it.
Yeah, communication is definitely a problem, obviously, for Joe Biden right now. And Kimmel is trying to help him. He sees that something's wrong with this guy. I mean, you can, one thing about Joe, they probably put him in a bunch of makeup and the best suits. They try to make him look as presentable as possible. But I saw him one time on an interview with the Shade Room, and it looked like it might have been filmed on an iPhone or something. He looked really, really, really old. I'm talking about Mr. Burns from The Simpsons old. I'm talking about a whole fossil, a mummy, a sarcophagus. He's old. And his age is showing, unfortunately.
Look how the press has changed. Mm-hmm. Look how the press has changed.
It has changed. Oh, listen, I get it.
I know you overstand it.
Yeah.
You don't just understand it, you overstand it. But here's the deal. One of the things is that it's very difficult now to have even with notable exceptions, even the really good reporters, they have to get the number of clicks on the nightly news. Mm-hmm. So instead of asking a question, anyway, it's just everything.
See, people talking about, oh, he has a stuttering problem, all this and that and the third. He's not able to keep a train of thought. He's not able to stay on task. He's not able to stay focused on what he's trying to say. He'll begin a statement and he'll forget what he was going to say halfway through it. So he just ends things without concluding the statement. It's not a full sentence. He speaks in sentence fragments.
Everything gets sensationalized in ways that, but I'm convinced we can get through this. We have to get through it. And one of the things, look.
I'm going to take a break, and then we'll talk a little bit more, if you don't
blame
mind.
you.
I'm sorry. We have some of those commercials.
See, look, they went to a commercial break on this guy, And that was probably something that the producers told Kimmel in his ear. It's like, yo, this guy's rambling. He's going from, he's not completing sentences, going from thought to thought. Just go ahead and cut to a break and let him get it together. You come up with some questions that are a little bit more pointed to center him so he does not look crazy. Okay, that's probably what's going on right here.
We have some biracial.
And I think even Joe Biden knows it. He was like, man, look, I don't blame you because I know I'm over here scrambling and rambling. I know I'm over here doing that. So he probably understands that, and it's really a shame. Now, here's another one. This was pretty perplexing, actually. If you've watched television in the past few years, you would know that this doesn't make any sense.
You turn on it. No, I'm serious.
All right, there's something to that. Yeah.
No, but I'm serious. You turn on the TV, look at the ads. When's the last time you saw biracial couples on TV? When's the last time you saw the way, I mean, people are selling products. They do ads to sell products. And they sell products when they appeal to people. This generation is going to change everything. We just got to make sure we don't give up. There's an ability for us to do everything from increase the access to education, healthcare. Look what we did in healthcare.
Okay, now the main point in this particular clip was the whole thing about not seeing biracial couples on television. Sir, when's the last time you watched TV? Now, if you don't watch TV, okay, that's fine. I understand, but you can't make a statement like that if you don't really know what's going on. You need to understand what's happening. All you pretty much see on television are biracial couples. That's all you see. I don't watch TV that much, but I do watch sports and the news. That's my main thing. HGTV, right? I'm Bob the Builder over here. I enjoy construction and home renovation and stuff like that. When I watch television, all you see are biracial couples and also like same-sex couples. Try finding a straight white male-female couple on television, or even a straight black male-female couple on television. Like, try finding a couple on television in the commercial with my particular skin tone, my particular phenotype, with a woman who is similar and, you know, skin tone and phenotype with kids that look the same. What you're going to see is kind of a hodgepodge. He's about 15 years too late, especially in the past 5 years. You know, this goes back to him talking about the phonograph before you go to sleep, old school stuff. Let's keep on moving.
Well, on climate change, we've actually made some real moves. I mean, we have, you know, 1 in 7 of all the changes that have taken place in terms of solar, wind, and wind pumps, and pumps and like.
Wind pumps. What is a wind pump?
Have occurred in the last 18 months. We've moved, and there's an opportunity with the process we have dealing with energy to be able to gradually move more rapidly than we have been to alternatives. For example, electric vehicles. Jimmy, when I got elected, I've pushed electric vehicles for the last, I don't know, God knows how long.
And this goes to the whole thing about gas prices. People talking about, oh, well, the gas prices, that's an international thing. America doesn't have any influence on it. Meanwhile, if you go to California, you're paying $8 a gallon for gas. Go to Tennessee, you're paying $4. So how is that only international influences that make that happen, right? The United States most certainly has an impact on the price of gas, both domestically and globally. If we cut down Keystone XL, we're cutting down existing oil and gas leases in certain parts of the country. That's going to reduce production, therefore increasing the price. It's very simple. And I think, like he's talking about here, we've made a bunch of strides in the past 18 months. Why? Because people want to buy electric due to the gas costing so much. Anyway.
You got to make sure that this becomes a voting issue. It's got to be one of those issues where you decide your position on the issue, senator or candidate for House or Senate, on what we're going to do on us with assault weapons and how able to have 300 rounds in a magazine. And
300 rounds in a magazine. I can't say I've ever seen 300 rounds of ammunition in one magazine. I mean, I've seen like the 100-round drum, but that's not something that you really just be carrying around, right? You know, the typical magazine for a so-called assault rifle, which is not even the real term, just a rifle, 30 rounds, you know, that's really it. But a guy like Joe Biden would want to have the Canada method, which is having 5 rounds in the magazine. I'm not sure what you're going to do with 5 rounds. At that point, you might as well have a bolt action rifle. just after each shot you reload. You might as well with 5 rounds. I can't do nothing with that. But let's see what else we got here.
Can't you issue an executive order? Trump passed those out like Halloween candy.
Yes, sir. I did.
Isn't that something that could happen?
Well, I have issued executive orders within the power of the presidency to be able to deal with everything having to do with guns, gun ownership, whether or not you have to have a waiting, all the things are within my power. But what I don't want to do, and I'm not being facetious, I don't want to emulate Trump's abuse of the Constitution.
Okay, so here's a caption from this, from RNC Research, the official page. He's talking about he's issued executive orders, but he doesn't want to emulate Trump. Meanwhile, Biden's averaging 67 executive orders per year so far, including the record 37 executive orders in his first week alone. Trump averaged 55 per year. So you don't want to emulate Trump. You want to supersede Trump as far as signing executive orders. So these people just tell you anything, right? But once you get down to the facts, things become different. So, yeah, I mean, that interview was kind of a dumpster fire, really. Again, it's 27 minutes long, a lot of gaffes, a lot of weird moments, a lot of lies that were told. And my thing is, why not do more interviews? Why not speak to the public more? We see why. Because when he speaks, he's not making sense. He's saying things that are just not true. And he does not really invoke a sense of confidence. If I'm a Biden supporter and I see that interview, I'm not really enthused. I'm like, man, I'm kind of worried at that point. I'm like, what's going on with this guy? No, me being who I am and knowing what Biden was about from the very beginning, knowing that his brain ain't all the way cranked up, right? Okay. If it was an engine, like, it wouldn't be going nowhere. I know that already. I knew that from the very beginning before he became the president. But a lot of people voted for this guy and they had confidence in him, and they see stuff like this and they're concerned. They're concerned. All I could tell you if you voted for Joe Biden is don't do it again. Vote for the better person, maybe even switch parties. I think that's happening a lot. And maybe this interview was kind of just damage control to try and make him look better in the eyes of the public, but your approval rating is super low. Was it like in the 30s or 40s, something like that? I think it's in the 30s right now. Going on Kimmel most certainly didn't improve it. In my humble opinion, if anything, it just solidified what those who do not like him, who disapprove of him, already know. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How'd you feel about the interview? Did you see the entire thing? Did you only see clips? Whatever your thoughts on the interview are, please let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I stand. This guy is not competent and should not be in office. Okay, you messing up the economy for the country, for the world. You putting us at risk when it comes to these wars we're engaging in. I'm not a fan at all. This interview just solidified what I already know to be true about this man. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.